Hi. Reading from a book based on the Winnie the Pooh stories called the Tao of Pooh. And it says, let's say you get an idea, or as Pooh would more accurately say, it gets you. Where did it come from? From this something, which came from that something. If you're able to trace it all the way back to its source, you'll discover that it came from nothing. And chances are, the greater the idea, the more directly it came from there. A stroke of genius, completely unheard of. A revolutionary new approach. Practically everyone has gotten some sort of an idea like that sometime. Most likely after a sound sleep, when everything was so clear and filled with nothing that an idea suddenly appeared in it. But we don't have to fall asleep for a few hours for that to happen. We can be awake instead, completely awake. The process is very natural. It starts when we are children, helpless but aware of things, enjoying what is around us. Then we reach adolescence, still helpless but trying to at least appear independent. When we outgrow that stage, we become adults, self-sufficient individuals, able and mature enough to help others as we have learned to help ourselves. But the adult is not the highest stage of development. The end of the cycle is that of the independent, clear-minded, all-seeing child. That is the level known as wisdom. When the Tao Te Ching and other wise books say things like, return to the beginning, become a child again, that's what they're referring to. Why do the enlightened seem filled with light and happiness like children? Why do they sometimes even look and talk like children? Because they are. The wise are children who know. Their minds have been emptied of the countless minute somethings of small learning and filled with the wisdom of the great nothing, the way of the universe. In the morning sunshine and evening twilight, a small bear travels through a forest. Why did we follow him when we were much younger? He is, after all, only a bear of little brain, but is brain all that important? Is it really brain that takes us where we need to go? Or is it all too often brain that sends us off in the wrong direction, following the echo of the wind in the treetops, which we think is real, rather than listening to the voice within us that tells us which way to turn? A brain can do all kinds of things, but the things that it can do are not the most important things. Abstract cleverness of mind only separates the thinker from the world of reality, and the world, forest of real life, is in a desperate condition now because of too many who think too much and care too little. In spite of what many minds have thought themselves into believing, that mistake cannot continue for much longer if everything is going to survive. The one chance we have to avoid certain disaster is to change our approach and to learn to value wisdom and contentment. These are the things that are being searched for anyway, through knowledge and cleverness, but they do not come from knowledge and cleverness. They never have, and they never will. We can no longer afford to look so desperately hard for something in the wrong way and in the wrong place. If knowledge and cleverness are allowed to go on wrecking things, they will, before much longer, destroy all life on earth as we know it. And what little may temporarily survive will not be worth looking at, even if it would somehow be possible for us to do so. The masters of life know the way, for they listen to the voice within them, the voice of wisdom and simplicity, the voice that reasons beyond cleverness and knows beyond knowledge. That voice is not just the power and property of a few, but has been given to everyone. Those who pay attention to it are too often treated as exceptions to a rule, rather than examples of the rule in operation, a rule that can apply to anyone who makes use of it. Within each of us, there is an owl, a rabbit, an Eeyore, and a Pooh. For too long, we have chosen the way of owl and rabbit. Now, like Eeyore, we complain about the results. But that accomplishes nothing. If we are smart, we will choose the way of Pooh, as if from far away, it calls to us with the voice of a child's mind. It may be hard to hear at times, but it is important just the same, because without it, we will never find our way through the forest.